Before I hit today's topic, I just want to point out the fact and the very unfortunate news that The Rock's daughter, Ava Rain, I believe her last name is, brand new GM of NXT, a character on TV. She has nothing to do with what's going on the main roster. And even then, you have idiots who call themselves wrestling fans who are really just bums who have nothing else going on in their life, to the point that they have to go online and give out death threats, to the point that Ava had to deactivate her X account, her Twitter account. Now, these freaking idiots, stupid, irresponsible, I hope they go to jail, I hope they get found, because this is very, very unfortunate. And we're talking about wrestling. We're talking about sports entertainment. First world problems. 10th priority on anybody's frickin' list. And you idiots want to go out there and ruin it for everyone. So again, just keep that in mind. Whatever we say on YouTube or on social media, we're talking about a frickin' TV show. Entertainment. There are bigger priorities. Tons of priorities. And you idiots sending out those death threats are so sad that you don't frickin' have anything else going on in your life, to the point that you can just resort to doing that off of a frickin' TV show. Just wanted to point that out. Doesn't matter how many rants I give or anybody gives online. You're talking about a fucking TV show. As simple as that. You don't like it, turn it off. You don't like it, stop watching. You don't like it, stop being a fan. But you don't go that far. You don't do that type of shit. As simple as that. You fucking idiots. With that said, let's get into today's topic. And of course, last night on Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso, Main Event Jey Uso, interrupted the current Intercontinental Champion's 600-day celebration as champion on Monday Night Raw, and it's pretty much a certainty that it might be in the next few weeks on Raw. It might be at Elimination Chamber. We're not sure about Gunther's travel plans, if he can actually make it to Australia for Elimination Chamber. If he can, that match definitely needs to take place at the pay-per-view. But in the grand scheme of things, we're going to get Gunther versus Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship in the very near future, which begs the question: should Main Event Jey Uso be the one to defeat Gunther and his historic reign as Intercontinental Champion? And possibly, most likely, because in my mind, he's still going to face off against his brother Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania in Uso versus Uso Street Fight Philadelphia. That's what we're going to get to. That's the end game for those twins at the show of shows. But should that match have the Intercontinental Championship on the line? And I'm going to throw you a swerve. I'm going to throw you a fastball, a fast one. Main Event Jey Uso should definitely, absolutely be the one to defeat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, especially since it's very hard. It's going to be very hard for WWE to put Chad Gable back into contention for the Intercontinental Championship. They haven't been doing anything with him in the past few weeks. So if it's not Chad Gable, then you gotta give some gold, you gotta give some hardware, you gotta give some big wins to Main Event Jey Uso to really establish himself as Main Event Jey Uso. And again, go back to Rock versus Reigns. That match doesn't need the title, much like Jimmy and Jey Uso at WrestleMania does not need the Intercontinental Championship itself. But if Brock Lesnar is not going to be a part of WrestleMania, if he's not ever going to return to WWE, thanks to all the details online currently with the lawsuits and everything, if that's not going to be an option, and the only other option that isn't Chad Gable would be defending the title against Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, I would much rather have a big return. Maybe Big E can make his return. We have the New Day versus Imperium 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania. I would much rather have that, and then you give Jey Uso props. Jimmy Uso comes back. He targets his brother. He's having way too much success. Then you introduce Jimmy Uso back into the fold again. Jey Uso becomes Intercontinental Champion. That's absolutely not set in stone. But if it's not Jey Uso, then it should be Chad Gable. If it's not Chad Gable, then it's going to be Braun Breaker. But Braun Breaker, he had a great showing at the Rumble. He's still a rookie. He's still brand new. And unless they plan to push him to the moon as soon as he gets into the main roster, then I really don't know. I really wouldn't give him that big of a win against Gunther. I really wouldn't, because you don't know exactly what you have with Braun Breaker on the main roster just yet. He has some pops. He has some great moves at the Rumble, and he's been doing a fantastic job in NXT. But momentum can dwindle like that. And if you don't book him the right way, even if you have him be the Intercontinental Champion, that title can be put on the back burner. Braun Breaker can lose momentum. And Jey Uso's current fan base, his momentum, the whole entire arena chanting Yeet. And I have a feeling that they're going to be doing that in Perth. They're going to be doing that at WrestleMania as well. In my mind, in my opinion, Jey Uso becomes champion very, very soon. Intercontinental Champion. And again, it's time. It's time to end Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign. I don't know. They might throw, some Sheamus back in there and have Sheamus actually win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Who knows? But for right now, Main Event Jey Uso, I really don't see anything bad, any cons on him becoming Intercontinental Champion, especially with the promos from last night. Gunther went in on Jey Uso. So we'll just have to wait and see. So with that said, what are your thoughts? What are you expecting out of this match? Do you think Jey Uso walks out with the Intercontinental Championship? He beats Gunther and ends his title long reign? Do you think Gunther should retain his title? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. With that said, tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for another episode of NXT. My name is Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.